It's time for a new episode of Steel Toes and Scoreboards. Allen Iverson is always going to be my all-time point guard.
The real AI? Practice. We're talking about practice, not the game.
His contributions to professional baseball cannot be denied.
You sure about that? Then why is he not in Cooperstown?
Come on, puss.
Nope, Hattie, old girl, he takes a backseat to Joe Montana.
2 years now we've been doing this bullshit.
I can't believe podcast hasn't thrown us off the air.
Marvin Harrison or Reggie Wayne?
Reggie Wayne.
Hot take. Taylor versus Serrano, 2022 Fight of the Year, baby.
2 women sold out in Madison Square Garden. Incredible.
You're the biggest homer ever.
Whoa. You leave my Dodgers, Steelers, and my Penguins out of this.
We did a lot of hockey talk last year. I enjoyed that.
Well, it's a great sport. Kill a guy with skates. What's better?
It's true. All right. One-on-one, full contact, both in their prime. LeBron versus Jordan.
Come on, Hattie, old girl. You really think that deserves an answer?
Okay, fine. We'll take it. Coming soon on Steel Toes and Scoreboards, a top 25 QB episode.
Beto. Nope. Not after that point guard cluster episode.
Oh, man. Tyson Fury versus Mike Tyson in their prime.
I'm pretty sure somebody named Tyson would win.
This Live Golf versus PGA Tour feud has been an incredible news story this year.
It's a pissing contest, but it has been funny.
That Waco episode did killer numbers on our downloads.
See, good thing we cover more than just sports.
Have I worked a pro wrestling reference in yet tonight?
And here we go, folks. Once again, he gets going. Well, you know.
I like wrestling. Leave me the fuck alone. Peyton, Brady, Breeze, and soon-to-be Rodgers all retired.
Who's the next crop to stand up and take their place?
We've got to start talking more to college hoops.
Waiting on you to pull the trigger.
Commissioner Kurt Kelly in the house, everybody.
I'm here to save the MLB.
Anything to say to your fans?
Peace, love, and Ozzy Osbourne.
Hot take right here. He's the greatest second baseman to ever play the game.
You're kidding me, right? You can't be serious.
All right, Puss, you ready to get into it?
Sure bet, Hattie, old girl. Let's piss some people off.
And as he said, we sure do. Guys, a very new episode happening right now. And welcome back to do not adjust your set, by the way. Welcome back to the first episode in about 5 months of Steel Toes and fucking Scoreboards.
Yeah, sorry, folks. It's been a minute.
Jared Atkins and the homie Kurt Kelly. Kurt, what is up?
No, I don't know. Well, you know.
Usually when I ask you that, you go hard weenies, and I go, you can't say hard weenies.
Right.
So
don't think I didn't think about saying that.
Let's address the elephant in the room. Let's address me, because I'm the elephant. Where the fuck have we been?
Life, dude.
Life.
Like I told you, like we talked about it many times. Sometimes life is just, it's what it is.
We went hard in the paint for let's see, May 2021. We went hard in the paint for a little over 2 years, and then we just had like a nice 5-month break there. Right. People were asking me, they said, is Kurt pissed at you?
No.
Is the show over? I said, well, Steel Toes and Scoreboards is me and Kurt. I said, if it's done, I said, I got to make a new show. I said, I will not do this show without Kurt. I mean, I might do many episodes by myself every once in a while. I'm like, but the show itself, I won't do without Kurt.
Right, that's cool. I mean, hey, yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. I mean, sorry, folks, we just we got things going on.
Kurt's busy. He had to get root in, man. It was root season.
It was root season, yeah. I did pretty good. We did pretty good.
That's good. The last time we did an episode together was 4th of July.
Was that the college game?
No, that would have been Whitey Ball. We would have had Cards Brewers.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The Wall Bangers.
That's right.
But I got some information.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've lost any listeners. I don't know if they're going to remember this when this comes out tonight or tomorrow, whenever it comes out. But Since July, we're still averaging at least 50 downloads a month, which means one of two things. Either we have listeners still coming back and checking our content, or we're still discovering new people who, for whatever reason, are tuning in. Hashtag tits, two idiots talking sports. Miss the boat.
And lose, what, an hour that they'll never get back?
That's exactly right, an hour they'll never get back. So I had a prep
Welcome
for
aboard,
this.
folks.
Yeah. So I didn't know what to do, so I prepped some. We're just going to go an old school mini, just to talk about random sports news.
A lot of stuff going on, man.
Before we get into the sports news, I've got to give the commissioner of Major League Baseball, the Los Angeles Dodgers fan, I have to give the commissioner of Major League Baseball a minute to share his opinion on the $700 million man, Shohei Ohtani.
Right. Well, that's a lot of money.
What,
it's a lot of scratch, dude.
And Kirk Kelly's word, that's a lot of scratch.
Scratch. That's right. I don't know if it's, but there's some kind of clause in that where you don't get it till after he's retired.
So you know how me and you always reference Bobby Bonilla Day?
Yeah.
And for those of you,
something like that.
Yeah, for those of you casual baseball fans who have no idea what diehards like Kurt and I are talking about, well, Google Bobby Bonilla. Bobby Bonilla's agent is the greatest agent in sports history.
No shit.
Because for the last 15 or 20 years, however long it's been, 10 years, Bobby Bonilla is getting like $1 million every June 1st, July 1st, whatever. That's going to continue until 2035.
And he's getting that from the Mets?
From the Mets, because he sucked so bad at the end they didn't want him to play anymore.
Yeah, I never was. I thought he was overrated. But
now, Shohei Ohtani, who's going to go down as one of the greatest players of this generation,
right?
He's deferring his contract too. The only difference is he doesn't suck. And apparently, if I looked at the clause right, he's only going to be averaging like, a handful of $1 million a year. And the last 2 years of his contract, he's going to get a major dump of salary.
Right.
Yeah. But 700 that averages out to $70 million a year. I mean, before they made the adjustment, what the hell are you going to do with $70 million a year?
I don't know. I know me and you both be in trouble. We had $70 million.
I think.
You know what I mean?
I think the numbers added up. Like I saw the breakdown of like how much money is this per month, per week, per day, per hour, per at bat. Like per day, he's looking at close to six figures. That's 100 G's per day. Yeah.
I mean, I'm still in favor of like give them all a base salary, and if you don't perform, you don't get paid.
Call back to May of 2021, Commissioner Kelly. Find that in the archives. Turning around the MLB with Commissioner Kelly.
I mean, that gets rid of all this toe turf and bullshit, little injuries and stuff. If you don't play, you don't get paid. You get a base salary, and that's it. And your performance enhances, on that. But
you're not wrong.
I mean, it's ridiculous, man. $70 million.
Yeah.
That's just ridiculous. And watch him fizzle out.
You think he will?
How long has he been in the league already?
When did Ohtani come in?
4 years?
Somewhere in the neighborhood of 5 to 10 years. I can't remember when he came in.
Right. I wonder what he did before he came here. Was he playing
He played in the Japan League. See, the Dodgers, I guess apparently LA was dry humping him as he was a teenager, which is weird because that's like, sex with a minor. But they were wanting him to skip going to Japan, the leagues, and come right to MLB, come right over here to the U.S. right out of high school.
And he goes to the crosstown rival or whatever.
The Anaheim Angels, yeah.
I don't know what to think about it. I'll tell you, it don't make no freaking difference because when we get to the playoffs,
don't say it.
Well, the playoff right now system is broke, dude.
You hate that, don't you?
You get punished for being the number 1 seed or number 2 seed. Because you got to sit a week.
You want to talk about punish? Okay.
You know what, baseball hitting is contagious. I'm sorry to cut you off. You know what I mean? If you're I don't know. It's gonna be a lot of rust. It'd be hard to turn it back on again after sitting a week.
Swing oil.
I think.
Need a little swing oil. I mean, you're right. Yeah. The playoff system. You and I talked about this when we were still together every day. Which I miss, by the way, because I don't get to talk sports every day anymore. I miss you, by the way. But we've talked about this till we've been blue in the face. You are not a fan of Major League Baseball's postseason playoffs anymore.
No. It's a punishment almost in a sense. I guess it depends on what kind of situation your team's in. If your arms are tired or whatever, your bullpen is tired, that week. But I'm telling you, something. If you're on a roll, look at the Diamondbacks, brother.
Oh God, dude. Oh God.
You know what I mean? They were playing good baseball at the right time.
Speaking of the Diamondbacks, I have a full confession to make. And before I make the confession, let's circle back.
I hate it that they beat the Phillies, too. I was pulling for the Phils.
I appreciate that. I love you for that. So I shit on the Phillies all last season, and then what do? They go to the World Series. Okay? This season, they're one of the top 2, 3, 4 favorites in the league to unanimously go back to the World Series again. They get fucking steamrolled by a team that itself gets fucking steamrolled in the World Series.
Yeah.
And
the Rangers were a good team.
Kurt, I have a confession to make to you. Here's something. Now, don't... Puss, do not have a heart attack, Puss.
Yeah, Hattie. Yeah.
I did not watch a single pitch of the World Series this year.
I don't blame you.
Not because my Phillies got beat, but because I thought this was going to be a game that nobody was going to watch. And I guess the ratings were not hot this year because you had teams that nobody wanted to see.
Right.
So
you had teams that were like a few hundred miles apart.
Oh, God, yeah. So it was terrible. The numbers came back. It did not do good. Not a lot of people gave a damn.
Tell you what, there ain't nothing like you guys home fans there, man. Them guys are the real deal.
The Philly fanatics.
Team going in there,
yeah.
that time of year.
Oh, God. I got to tell you something. So, one of the things we do on this show is we make ourselves look like idiots, but we have a good time and people listen.
Right.
I found the most redneck thing that happened earlier this year at a Phillies game, and you and I weren't able to get together on the mic for the last 5 months, so I couldn't bring it up. So you know how people nowadays, even whether they're ex-military or not, some people suffer through mental trauma, so they need emotional support animals, right?
Right.
There was a guy that got kicked out of Citizens Bank Park in Philly. My team kicked him out, and he threw a bitch fit because they wouldn't let him bring his emotional support alligator into the game. Now, wait, hang on. I got to laugh for that. No, that was applause. We're a little rusty. Let's try this one. He had an emotional support alligator, and the pitcher, he had the alligator with a collar on its neck and a little leash, and he was holding it like a baby, petting it. The first fucking question that came to my mind, who in the world, what happened to them that they decided that was the animal they needed for an emotional support animal?
Well, I mean, yeah, you got
what trauma did they go through?
No shit. Good alligator.
I mean, he was holding it like I was holding my kids when they were, and he was just petting its back, and the alligator was just as content as can be. And I'm like, either that alligator's so docile or somebody got him stoned before they went into the game.
Yeah, something's up. I mean, a wild alligator, I guess.
And then the second question is, this guy was dressed in Philly gear, so he was obviously a Phillies fan, probably most likely living in the Philadelphia area. Who the hell from the South was bringing alligators up to the Northeast?
You got to wonder, too, that the Phillies mascot is not an alligator, folks.
No. But I wish we could have been on the mic that night because we'd have had a ball with that. I mean,
he's a fanatic.
For the listeners out there, the ones that are still getting through their heart palpitations because they're hearing content for the first time in 5 months, Google it. Philly fan alligator support animal.
I'll check it out, man. That's fucking burnt. I'm sorry.
Burnt. So, burnt.
Call the Offersville Fire Department. That's burnt.
I don't, you know what? I'm just having fun shooting the shit with you. You know what's happened since the last time we recorded? I came over to see you.
Radio.
You know what? I came over to see you at work one day.
Yeah.
You were at lunch and you came out, and then all of a sudden you did a double take and you're like, Hattie. You're like, what are you doing here? I said, I came to see you. I was like, I'm on the radio. No, what? I'm like, I'm on the radio right now. Turn your radio on. You're like, how are you on the radio when you're right here? And I said, magic. It's magic.
It's magic. The magic of radio.
For those listeners that listen to the show but don't know us personally, might not know what's up with our everyday life, I am working in radio and television now. I am
not surprised.
I'm doing on-air DJ sometimes. I mostly do news content, and what got me my job was the comfort level behind the microphone.
Right.
Because they checked out both of my podcasts and are like, that one with that guy where you do sports, or like, you got to watch the language you use on air. So far, there's been no fuck bombs dropped on air, thank God.
Fuck that.
But I'm working in radio now, and
excuse me.
it was like it was destined to happen. And they're like, how are you doing so good at this? I'm like, I want to start a podcast. I'm like, this old ass guy I become friends with at work. We started talking.
Old ass guy. That's right.
We started talking sports, and then COVID happened like 2 months after I started, and then we were joking one day we ought to start a podcast, and he's so old. He was like, what's a podcast? So then I told him, and then he's like, well, let's go get the equipment. I'm like, it's expensive. He goes, I'll go in half with you on it. I said, and then long and behold, a show was born that apparently people like.
We just missed out on the name.
We missed out on the name. Hashtag Tits Podcast. Two idiots talking sports.
I like the name we got now, but that would have been, over the top, man, off the chain.
Well, there for a while last year, it was changed to, what was it? House slippers and
slippers.
house slippers and scoreboards.
Yeah, when you start working out of your home. Man,
yeah. Oh man. So man,
Adam Sweet was in on that.
Adam Sweet. How are you doing? He's not there anymore. I never thought I'd see the day.
I'm doing all right. Asher, he's doing a good job.
Miss Asher. Miss everybody over there.
Oh, and I've talked to Adam since I went to turn him a ginseng. His house is like 3 minutes away from the guy that buys it.
Yeah.
So I went over and visited him for only 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
He still looks like the grape ape.
He's even got a little bit grayer.
Oh, man.
Sorry, Adam.
He's a good guy. He's a damn good guy.
And I'll tell you what, things changed around here real quick for a while.
Did it?
Yeah, I had to go to the office one time already.
Oh, no. You got in trouble, or you just went up there and I got to get something off my chest?
Yep.
Well?
Yep. And I told him what I've been telling everybody, he's going to get bumpy around here when he leaves.
And it did.
For a little while. It did, yeah.
You know, I hate to say anything bad about that place, and I never will, but when you lose my dad, and then you lose Adam, that experience between them two guys, when you lose both of them in the span of about a year and a half. Yep. So,
yeah, for sure. A lot of changes around here, man. I'll say that.
You still banging out stuff in the old Simon cell?
I'm banging out stuff everywhere, dude.
Man, I tell you what, that for those of you that don't know, Kurt and I used to get our best ideas for the stupidity we'd talk about when I was helping him in the Simon cell.
Yeah.
I would leave my crane to go help him in the Simon cell, and I would find ways to come help him just so we could talk stupid stuff. So,
hey, I got Chris Webber or Kevin Garnett.
Chris Webber. I love Kevin Garnett, but you know I'm a huge C-Web fan. Yes, I was only 5 or 6, but I vaguely remember the Fab Five team, and then throughout the years, watch it.
That just popped in my head. I thought that was kind of a good comparison.
Stat wise, and building a championship team. KG, but personal favorite, the attitude. C-Web. What him, Juwan Howard, Jalen Rose, Ray Jackson, and Jimmy King, what them guys did up there, they changed the culture of college basketball.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You think about that. Back in 90, 91, whatever, everybody's wearing nut huggers. You can see it.
We need to do a cast on that.
On the Fab Five team?
On the Fab Five team, yes.
Full fucking sin. How about we just do that next?
I'm down with that.
You know what? I was already going to tell you.
Yesterday.
Huh?
I remember that shit like it was yesterday. And not only that, there was good teams in the Big Ten that year. You had Glenn Robinson III. Some of them years.
Oh, my God. I forgot about that. Glenn Robinson, he was playing.
Shandy and the Hoosiers, Damon Bailey. Alan Henderson.
I have his rookie card somewhere.
Matt Nover.
Look at you. You're all excited.
Oh, I'm down to do a Fab Five. Them guys did change it. The face of that college.
Well,
basketball.
It was just the attitude, the outfits. Jordan and everybody was wearing baggy swagger. That's the word for it. Or as the new generation calls it, Riz.
Riz.
You're gonna have to go. You're gonna have to go to Asher tomorrow and be like Riz and see what he says. Riz.
All right, I'll do that tomorrow.
That's in the slang. Riz.
I'll start out with swagger and I'll be like Riz after that.
Riz. Call Asher. You can call him. Tell him I'm the Rizzler.
I'm the Rizzler. Right on.
So, I was going to try to get into this because I put some sports news together, but I'm having fun catching up. Everybody's having a heart attack. But speaking of basketball, man, a former NBA big man, a former Indiana boy, and a former North Carolina athlete, and I do believe he was on that championship team, Eric Montross passed away Sunday.
Oh, I did not know that. Really?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't he a part of that? Wasn't he part of that 93 championship team?
Who?
For North Carolina.
Yes, he was.
Let me look here. Let me get down on my notes.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, wow.
Let's see.
He would have been very old.
He was 52 years old.
I'm 52 years old.
He died Sunday surrounded by loved ones at his home. He was still living in Chapel Hill. He played for Hall of Famer Dean Smith at UNC from 90 to 94. And starting center when the Tar Heels won the 93 national title.
Yep.
Let's see. Did it say what he passed? Did it say what we'll get there in a minute. He was selected 9th overall in the 1994 NBA draft by, do you remember?
No, I do not.
Boston Celtics.
Boston Celtics, okay.
He played for
his NBA career that much.
He played for Dallas, the New Jersey Nets, the 76ers, the Pistons, and the Raptors over the span of 8 seasons in the NBA. And after retiring from the NBA, he was the radio analyst for North Carolina game broadcasts for 18 years.
Really?
Yeah, Eric Montross. I'm trying to remember what they used to call him, what his nickname was. Because dude was smooth as shit when I was a kid.
Yeah. At the time, he really, the big man and his footwork was just off the charts.
You know what amazes me, too, is that we've talked about this in countless episodes. Guys are not playing 4 years anymore. And this was a definition just of that era, of the way things were in the 90s to the first part of the 2000s. You played 4 years.
Yes. Yeah, you committed for 4 years.
Now these guys, they play one and done, one and done, one and done.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. I don't know. I got something for you.
What's that?
Hey, let's go to NFL talk here for a second.
Okay, hey, you hit me with whatever you want to hit me with.
What do you think about the legal betting on the games?
Man, I tell you what.
Does it not look rigged?
Well, here's.
I went out on a limb. A hot take.
Hot take.
Rigged, brother.
Wait, tap the mic. Old school. Hot take.
Yep.
Kurt had a hot take. There's something to be said to that. What I don't like is they're suspending players for betting on games. However, they're not betting on any games they're playing in. They're betting on other games. Like, all these players getting their PP spanked, Calvin Ridley and all these others.
Right. If it's going to be legal, it should be legal for everybody.
Well, yeah. And, I mean...
They're afraid of point shaving. I'm sorry, but that's not where the point shaving is going on, no. The NFL is rigged, brother.
If they're going to let legal sport betting in, all these other sports, this just comes back to my point of one of Kurt's most famous lines in show history, put Pete Rose in the damn Hall of Fame.
Exactly.
So, and
Absolutely.
like I said, he will go in the Hall of Fame.
When he's dead.
When he's dead.
Yep.
And that's really sad.
That is sad.
How do you not have the hit king?
Best two-strike hitter ever.
He's a great two-strike hitter. I love that. That never gets old.
Well, I mean, I just wondered what your take was on the betting and the rigging. It's got to be rigged, man. Or it's in the officiating.
Well, I mean, the officials seem.
That's how they're controlling the games.
I mean, Tom Brady used to drop $1 million cash in the ref's pocket every week when he get to the stadium. You got to understand, for Tom Brady, $1 million was like a dollar bill for us.
Right. I'll be asking for more than that.
But right. But I mean, still.
Have you ever watched Jake's an Asshole? You ever checked him out on YouTube?
I know what you're talking about, but I haven't watched any of it. I've seen the thumbnails.
Check it out. He does a little commentary along with it, and he shows plays. It's like, oh my God, he's right. It's ridiculous. You check him out.
I will.
It's pretty funny. He's gone as far as saying that there's something put into football when the field goal kicker kicks it. There's a magnet or something that draws it to the post. And if you watch some of his replays, it sure looks like it did. And he'll say, notice the flag up there on top of the post. No flag, no wind. And watch this football. All of a sudden it goes a hard right.
A magnet?
I don't know.
Conspiracy.
Some sort of drone, maybe, or controlled thing. I don't know.
We need to upgrade the equipment because we need a bigger sound pad, because when you said that would have been my cue to hit the X-Files theme.
I'm just saying. Check him out once. Let me know what you think.
I will do that when we get off air. I don't know how much of this we're going to get into tonight because we're just really shooting and it's rolling off the tongue well. I did put a few notes together, but...
Well, we need to go with it, man.
Well, no. Well, this is good content. People are enjoying this. I got something for you.
All right.
Okay. Well, I don't want to offend anybody, but sometimes we offend people, and we don't ever try to. Kurt and I are good people. We're good, honest Christian people.
Well, yeah.
But sometimes the world has become, for lack of a better word, we've talked about this, not only stupid, but it's become overly sensitive. And
a lot of different things going on now.
I've caught some heat when we've talked about sports on the show before because I've used the phrase overly sensitive pussy.
I'm sorry.
You're dying right now, aren't you?
Yeah. Okay.
Well, this little piece of sports news I'm going to bring to you. Somebody I found out on Facebook, somebody had shared the story from ESPN, and it said, "What a bunch of overly sensitive pussies." And I'm like, wow, that's a phrase I use. I was like, I'm going to have to see what this is about. Now, we're going to talk a little bit of tennis for a couple of minutes. So I know you're already wondering, how do we go from overly sensitive to tennis? Where's the rub there?
Love 30. All right, yeah.
Well, I think this is kind of cool, but everybody is like apparently shitting all over this on social media, which I don't know, but there's going to be a new monitoring service put in place by the ITF, which stands for the International Tennis Federation, and it's going to help protect tennis players from online abuse and people saying mean things to them. So, let me finish.
Okay.
In their joint announcement together earlier this week, the ITF, the United States Tennis Association, the All England Club, and the Women's WTA Tour, along with the men, said that the new program is called Threat Matrix and will operate in 35 different languages when it launches January 1st. Tennis players are subject to significant levels of social media abuse and other inappropriate online content, as well as mean things being said to them, which poses risks to preparation, performance, and their overall mental health. The Threat Matrix service will support the identification of abusers against whom all available measures will be taken. The key point, this Threat Matrix is going to be manned by an AI company. And AI is all the rage. It's going to be called Signify Group. I don't even know what to say. Hey, Kurt and I, one thing we've always defended, and you can go back and check past episodes, if there's anything that deals with sexual abuse or sexual assault of a woman, we shut it down because, like, we might crack jokes, but if you're going to ultimately disrespect a woman that way, you're a fucking piece of shit.
Exactly.
So we're not so much poking fun of that as we're just poking fun of them trying to protect people from saying mean things to them.
Right.
I don't know. It's just I shouldn't laugh.
But we'll say mean things to each other all night.
Oh yeah. And if you're a man, you should be able to take it like
Yeah, that's right. Oh shoot. No, that's interesting. I did not know that.
This is gonna be pretty vulgar, but it's funny. I'm making a point. Men handle things different.
Yes.
I seen a video on Facebook. Somebody, said something to a guy. There's two high school kids after a football game, and it looks like I don't know if it was a staged social media clip or if it was a real video because the camera work was pretty convincing. But it was a high school football game somewhere out in Seattle, Washington, and the defensive back sacked the quarterback.
Okay.
The quarterback got up and goes, "God, you're a fat piece of shit." He said, "I'm fat because every time your mom fucks me, or she makes me a sandwich every time I fuck her," or something like that. And I'm like, that's how men handle. Yeah. So hey, I'm all for it. Mental health is a big thing. I mean, we've talked about it till I've been blue in the face. I'm coming up. February will make 5 years since I tried to take my life, Hattie, old girl. You know that. So
right. Yeah.
I'm all about mental health. That's a good thing. We need to keep things on the up and up. But I just was like, I saw this and somebody made a comment and I'm like, yeah.
It's tough. It's tough, brother, to do that sometimes,
Well, I mean, true, if you're at a professional level, you're trying to play the highest you can. I mean, in all seriousness, the last thing you need is some douchebag just railing on you who has nothing better to do with their life than insult
like
a professional.
A golf tournament,
Oh, yeah. Although, there's some pros out there that handle them hecklers like nothing.
Like John Daly?
John Daly. God, that's one of my spirit animals.
Oh, yeah. I love me some John Daly. Yeah.
They're like, "Why'd you play?" There was one not this long ago. Somebody goes, "Why'd you play so bad today?" He said, "Because your mom was on my balls all night and she weighs like 600 pounds." The guy's like, "If she's 600 pounds, why is she on top?"
What do you mean?
You know what? I only put let's shift things. What do you want to talk about? We can get something. You want to talk a little NBA? What's going on in the NBA?
I haven't been following the NBA. To tell you the truth, I've been playing 2K, but I want to be honest with you, I haven't followed the real deal.
Ja Morant's back from suspension.
I didn't even know he was suspended.
Oh, yeah, for that thing on the whole gun thing that we talked about back in the spring of last year or the summer or whatever it was.
Maybe I do remember that, yeah.
Yeah, Ja Morant's back.
Okay. He's a difference maker somewhat, yeah. Let's
look at the standings in the NBA here. Kurt, I mean, I have NBA 2K22. I haven't played it yet. It's installed. I never did find the time to play it.
I've got 24 now.
Well, that's because you're Kirk Kelly and you're the commissioner of Major League Baseball. Soon to be Adam Silver's assistant commissioner.
I'm kicking him out too. He gone.
Well, in the East right now, it's no surprise. Milwaukee and Boston are pretty much neck and neck.
Giannis and
Giannis.
I can't think of anything else. He's got some help there for sure.
Pacers are down to 13 and 12.
I take it their point guard's pretty good. Well, we do that to be.
We general manage to be average.
To be average, yep.
The Pistons in the cellar of the Eastern Conference. Won't you ask me what the record is?
What's your record, Jared?
2-25, currently on a 24-game losing streak.
Ouch.
Woo.
Ouch. Have they been riddled by injury? Or
do we got they're minus 12 in the point differential. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with them. Let's take a look at the West right now, which is rare because one thing Kurt and I always do on Weeknight Chronicles is we don't talk a lot of standings and stats, but
right.
I didn't put but a few notes in because I was half expecting it to be like, okay, something's going to come up with me or something's going to come up with him. I was like, so, but we're pretty good at filling content. I'm on the radio every day now, so I know how to kind of fill time and fill content. So,
right.
In the West right now, the Minnesota Timberwolves of all people are out in front, 20-5. I came out of the closet as a Lakers fan. Easy, Kurt. I know what you're thinking every time I say that.
I see rainbows.
Since I came out of the closet as a Lakers fan, which I'm still a Pacers fan, but yes, I am a Lakers fan as well. Lakers are 15-12 right now.
Damn, the West is kind of
yeah. The hottest
there or what?
I don't know. One of the hottest looking teams right now, and they're currently in the 6th spot in the Western Conference, is the LA Clippers. They're only 16-10, but they're riding a damn 9-game winning streak. This breaks my heart because I've always been a huge Greg Popovich guy.
Right.
And you know what he did for the Spurs franchise, and they got Becky Hammond and all this other stuff. But the Spurs are at the very bottom, the second or third worst team in the league. They're at the bottom in the basement of the West, 4-22, and they are also almost a minus 12 point differential. Almost, they are playing some terrible ball.
Ain't playing no defense. Sounds like to me.
Terrible defense. But you got me thinking. You want to talk a little Pacers? Let's just click on the Pacers and see.
Okay, I heard you got a point guard that's really good.
There's a couple
now,
players
do you
that's
build
good.
around him? Is he good enough to build around? You know, sounds like he is.
I would build around him. I would build around him. Let's just pull up the Pacers spot here. So, I mean, here's what gets me excited. You've got a great backcourt with Buddy Hield and Tyrese Halliburton. Now, I say that because a few years ago, before Kurt and I ever met, before we were ever talking sports, I watched a lot of college basketball. I don't watch a lot of it lately because I don't have time. But I was a huge you like watching college basketball because there's so many teams. It's different than the NBA. There's certain teams you watch because you like to watch certain teams play. Yes, you have your favorite. We're all IU fans, or if not, fuck you. But we're all IU fans. But we like watching other teams play. I liked watching Oklahoma play because I liked watching Buddy Hield.
Right.
So, you know, he goes, where did Buddy Hield go? He got drafted. It was either Sacramento or New Orleans, or there was a trade there. So somehow he's ended up
with Sacramento.
Yeah. So you've got a great backcourt with these two guys. And I mean, Tyrese Halliburton's just a fucking beast. 6'5".
That's what I hear.
A big point guard. To me, 6'5" is a big point guard.
It is.
That's a big point guard. And you know, who knows what's going on with the Miles Turner thing? I'm pretty sure in my opinion, that pond's kind of been fished out. Like, maybe I shouldn't. He come in with so much praise when he came in, you know, whatever it was, 2014, 15, 16, 17, whatever it was. And he's had some moments, but I think
it's not developing as rapidly as you would like to.
I'm not saying you move on from him, but I'm saying you hold a team meeting and you make it the point that we're going to build around this backcourt right here. We're going to build around Buddy Hield in at the 2 guard. We're going to build around Tyrese Halliburton at the 1 guard. And
so you need a banger forward, big forward.
I don't even know.
Well, I don't know. It's changed.
Well, hang on a minute. Now you got me excited talking NBA. I haven't been. Let's just look at 2024. Let's look at the upcoming NBA free agents, which Pacers don't do a lot, but just out of curiosity. NBA free agency class. Potential free agency class. Okay, so Yahoo Sports hooked us up. They put out a list of the upcoming free agents for next year.
Right on.
Possible.
A big banger.
Let's
see. Power forward.
Oh, well, you know, how fitting would this be? Returning to Indianapolis, which he wouldn't do. The guy that broke all of our hearts 5 or 6 years ago when he left, PG-13. But he won't leave L.A. He's an L.A. kid. He wants to be in L.A., but he's open. How about the guy, the Pacers? Oh, God. Pacers fans remember this. What about Kawhi Leonard?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's some Pacer history there if you been around for a while.
Right. Where would he play? 3?
You could put him at 3. Let's just see.
He played 4, too, hadn't he?
He has some.
Yeah, that's not his natural position out there.
No, but when you look at Kawhi Leonard, it says it right here, the exact words that I was going to use, impactful defender. That son of a bitch is a good defensive player.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Let's see who else is potentially available. Of course, LeBron, but he's got a player option, which he'll probably exercise, I'd say. Apparently, Father Time does not exist because the best player in the world since 2003 has been LeBron James, and I used to hate the guy with a passion.
Right. And he's been pretty good, yeah.
He's available.
I just think he's on the tail end, though.
He is.
We want to make, you should want to put together a team that's going to make a run for 5 years straight. You know what I mean? It might take them a couple of years to get there, and then we're going to peak for 5 years or so.
Hey, do you remember a player that played college basketball by the name of OG Anunoby?
Yes.
Yeah, can you tell everybody that don't know OG Anunoby where he played college ball at?
At IU.
Yeah, and guess who's a free agent next year?
No way.
Yeah.
There's your number 3 guy right there. He can play the 3. He'd be a big 3.
For those of you that are not Hoosier fans, there's been a lot of, of course, everybody misses the 80s and the 90s IU players, but there was some damn good, decent teams in this 2000s era.
Yes.
There was nothing like seeing Assembly Hall go up when OG would shoot and go OG, and the whole Simon Hall would just go.
Christian Watford was a good player.
That shot.
Yeah, against Kentucky.
Oh, God. I don't care if we never win another national championship again. That was good just to stick it up Kentucky's ass.
Well, it hurt them so bad they wouldn't play us anymore.
I know. If we both hadn't been busy, we could have talked about that too.
Well, that's a possibility yet for a podcast.
Indiana versus Kentucky.
We might offend some neighbors to the south there, but
we do get listeners in Kentucky, which I'm surprised because
right.
We're Indiana and they're
I can about throw a rock into Kentucky. Yeah.
Now, see, all I've been looking for is a front court. I haven't looked at that's what I'm saying. I haven't looked at no true bigs or no extra guards.
The trend now is shooting 5, right?
Yeah, and Miles Bridges out of Charlotte, who, by the way, was denied access into Toronto to play the Raptors the other day. That was in my news story. They denied him access because he's got some off the court distractions going on. He's been getting his pee spanked with domestic violence and all this other crap.
Don't need him in. You don't want to bring something like that in.
But here's something that is interesting about upcoming free agents. Buddy Hield is a potential free agent next year.
Uh-huh.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to lock him to. Also, by the way, speaking of free agents out of Indiana, a guy that's been a nice little ace in the pocket and has been kind of clutch in certain situations, one of their guards off the bench, Bruce Brown.
Okay.
He is a free agent, and this dude, he can hit threes and he can grab boards.
Okay.
He is set to make about $22 million this season. And right now this season, he's averaging 12, 4, and 2. And he's shooting 46. I don't have the minutes. He's shooting about 46% from the field.
Not bad.
That's not bad.
Not bad. No.
What I'm noticing, though, is like you are, is all the players you grew up watching are retired. All the ones that I've been watching for the last 20 years since I've been a high school player are all retiring. Like I was a freshman or sophomore in high school when LeBron was drafted.
Right.
So
right.
Yeah. So and I'm telling you, I don't know a lot about these guys, some of these newer guys. I will say this, I just came across this. A certain Charlotte Hornets front court player, small forward, is a free agent next year. And you might have heard of the guy. He played at Butler University, if I'm not mistaken.
Who's that? Jeffries?
No, that's Hayward.
Hayward, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He'd be a good 3.
That kid ain't been the same since he got hurt that year.
No.
So
he lost a step or so, but
I'm getting kind of excited for the NBA now, though.
Basketball is an IQ sport, man. I think, really, in a lot of ways. If you've ever played 2K, they really, if your team ain't playing smart or something, you're going to be beat.
If I break out 2K15 on the Xbox 360, I'm a superstar. If I try playing 2K, last game I played with Kurt was 2K21, and I got my ass whipped. I scored like 5 points, and Kurt scored like 75. That game is. There needs to be a button that says pass, dribble, shoot, because that shit is like science.
Yeah, no doubt. And Not to mention the button reassignment that goes on when you're playing.
Oh, God,
Terrible.
yeah. You know what? Ronnie. It's all Ronnie's fault.
It is Dan Ronnie's fault, absolutely.
Damn it,
I'm
Ronnie.
protesting right now.
Kurt, explain to everybody who Ronnie is.
It's the creator, isn't it?
Yeah.
2K?
Yeah, he's like the guy
Ronnie
that's in
Sang?
charge of it. Yeah.
Ronnie Sang.
Ronnie, you're an asshole.
Yeah, Ronnie. It's all about, they want your money, though, too.
Hey, whoa. Let's back off the NBA a minute. And I just missed this. Let's back up to the NFL a minute.
Okay.
This has been filling content, Kurt. I don't need a script, filling content.
Well, yeah.
Click
I'm not surprised.
NFL. Now, we're going to travel to the AFC North a minute.
I don't even want to talk about
No. I've got to hear it from the guru himself. What his opinions are, what's going on. Give me just a second. Let's check the standings, and then we're going to click on the team.
Okay.
So right now, unfortunately, and I love you, in the basement of the AFC North, at 7-7, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're looking for it to be the standard this year, 9-8. The standard is the standard.
Minus 57 on the point differential. I'm sorry.
That's all I got to say about that.
Fuck Canada, right? You hate the country, you hate the person.
Yeah, go back here to Canada, eh?
Yeah. So,
you hoser.
What I heard something today, and I didn't check on it. And maybe you did.
The culture is gone, dude.
They're going to start Mason Rudolph this
Kenny
week.
Pickett's supposed to be back.
I thought they were starting. Maybe that was this past weekend.
Well, no, that was the first report that I got too. Was that Mason Rudolph was going to start instead of Turbisky, but I think I've seen where Pickett might be coming back. It don't make no damn difference anyway because we'll be 9-8. The standard is the standard by Mike Tomlin.
You know what? This pisses me off, and I'm just going to clear the air. I hate this damn schedule change now. I hate it. I hate the odd number of games. I hate this. I wanted it to stay.
Take it away.
I wanted it to stay at 16 games with the one bye. This screws everything up. Nobody can fit. I mean, it's stupid.
Yes.
That's just my opinion.
I want to go back to what I said about rigging earlier.
Yeah, let's talk about
There wasn't a higher up. I can't remember who was official of the NFL that said, "Well, it is a sports entertainment business."
That's professional wrestling.
That they put it under the same category as professional wrestling. So what's that tell you?
Well, we've learned a long time ago, and for those of you that have been checking out the show, because we're averaging 50 downloads a month the last 5 months, we haven't put out any content. I get a pro wrestling reference in on both my podcasts every episode.
Oh, yeah.
We don't say that
right here.
we don't say the F word to me. We don't say the F word. We say predetermined. I know you didn't, but
I didn't say that.
You do make a compelling argument when you phrase it like that.
Well, yeah, I want to be careful with that phrase. It's
you make a compelling argument.
Entertainment business.
I don't know. Okay, so let me ask you this. Let's just dive into Steelers talk for a minute. You know more about it than I do. I mean, you got a Steelers mural on your wall.
Oh yeah, I got a wall too. Yeah.
What do? Do you get rid of Tomlin too? Tomlin's been there since 2006, 2007. You get rid of Tomlin?
He has no control over that team, I don't think.
Tomlin's a good coach.
No.
Or he was.
X's and O's, he don't know. He blew. Let's go a week back, not the Indianapolis or the Arizona debauchery, but the one in between there, the Patriots, right? His misuse of timeouts and the clock cost him that game.
And that Patriots team is terrible. I don't care what anybody says. That should have been. Yeah. That was a 21-18 loss.
Tyler Murray or Zappy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'm sorry, and the culture seems to be disappearing. What it means to be a Pittsburgh Steeler, I think the locker room's out of control, and you always got something going on with a receiver and the social media. Okay, always that shit don't exist on a I don't know. My team,
here's how it's shaping out for the rest of the season with 3 games left to go. You got the Bengals.
Yeah.
You got the Bengals Saturday at home.
Our last home game, yeah.
Yeah, and then you finish the season on the road. You got 2 tough games ahead of you, especially with the Ravens. And I'm telling you, the Ravens-Steelers rivalry is one of the best rivalries in the NFL in the last 20 years.
It'll be a close, ugly game.
In the last 20 years. That'll be your final game. But in between the Bengals and the Ravens, 2 division opponents, you go to Seattle to play in one of the hardest places to play in the NFL because the way that stadium is designed, it just holds sound.
Yeah,
More offensive penalties are committed. More offensive penalties are committed and called, and
we shoot ourselves in the foot at least 10 times a game, so perfect.
But I can't really talk a whole lot because where are we at? I think we're second. I think we're second.
Hold on.
In our division.
I gotta say something about Mike Tomlin.
Okay, say it. Go for it.
No disrespect to the man, but I kind of lost respect for him. One evening in Baltimore when the guy is running the punt down the sideline and he sticks his leg out like he's going to trip him. Remember that?
I remember that.
And I'll just be honest with you, from ever since that, I mean, why would you even think about doing it, even if you know what I mean? What's the kind of message is that sending to your players?
Because you're mad.
And so ever since then, I've had a different look on Mike Tomlin. He's got a Super Bowl ring, yada, yada, yada. He inherited that team from Bill Cowher.
He did.
Let's be honest.
He did.
And I'll just be honest with you, he X's and O's. I don't think he's a very good coach. And he don't really – the only off-field – I mean, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers. Everybody got this big base or whatever, people follow him. That shit shouldn't be going on in the locker room. Every year there's something with a receiver or a player or a skilled player, okay? There's always somebody else in the media. I just don't know. You don't need that. It's a cancer, man, for a team. That is the ultimate team sport, right? Football?
Exactly. 100% it is.
It's a cancer, isn't it?
I would say cancers in the locker room are never a good thing.
Well, and that's the coach to address that, isn't it?
Well, you're supposed to. If you have any sense over your team, you do.
Well, that's all I need to say. No disrespect to Mike Tomlin. I mean, the standard is a standard, 9-8, and just missed the playoffs or just squeak in. So
Indianapolis is setting.
Oh, Kenny Pickett's not the man either.
What?
I'm sorry. No, I don't. Let's just put it this way. It might have been Matt Canada keeping him down or whatever, and why don't we use the middle of the field?
Is it because the guys are soft nowadays and they want to get hit or what?
I don't know. All of our plays seem like to go.
Hines Ward would have went across the middle of the field. He wouldn't have gave a shit.
That's what I'm talking about. The culture. It's not the same. It's even infiltrating the coaching too. Okay, it's not there anymore. Okay, that's where it should start.
Well, okay, yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say. Maybe if I think of something else, I'll say that too. It's a rough time to be a Steeler fan.
So
there's a lot of different things going on there. None of them really good.
So the Rooney family just hired you to be the general manager of the Steelers. So
what thing we're going to do is get us to Joe Burrow, damn it, like we should have done 2 years ago.
Are you cleaning house? Are you like everybody's getting a pink slip, or what are you doing here?
Yeah, as far as the coaching, yeah. I mean, we're wiping the slate clean. Yeah.
You going to offer a shit ton of money to the retired Bill Cowher to come back, or what?
Well, maybe.
No, you bring him back. You wouldn't bring him back to coach because he wouldn't want. He wouldn't want to coach. He'd come back and consult for you, wouldn't he?
Well, I don't know. He might have a little fire in him yet. I don't know. I mean, what about Big Ben?
I'm still not over that 2005 divisional game. Fucking Vanderchat. Now there's an idea. What is Big Ben doing these days?
He never got enough. He's doing a podcast.
Roethlisberger has a podcast?
Yeah, footballing with Ben.
You're serious?
Yeah, I'm dead serious. It's a pretty good
Oh
podcast.
shit!
too.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Now football is spelled different. It's got 2 L's in it, I think, and an H maybe.
Oh god, that fucking
Yeah.
idiot.
I mean, it's a pretty good podcast, really. It's done out of the basement of his house, I think. Him and another guy. I'm not sure. He went and got him a sidekick, you know.
There you go.
But he's even said, and I'll tell you where I got this from. It makes total sense where I got the culture thing from. He even went out and said the culture seems to be disappearing in Pittsburgh.
Those were his words?
It was his words, especially on the offensive side of the football. There's nobody grabbing somebody by the face mask and saying, hey, you know, this is what it means to put on a Pittsburgh Steelers uniform, all right? There's certain do's and don'ts. George Pickens.
Wow.
Claypool when he was there. Antonio Brown
what happened
when he
with
was
Claypool?
there. That's what I'm saying. The media, the social, I mean, and it just his antics were ridiculous. Same thing with Juju Smith-Schuster there for a while. Same thing when he's dancing on the logo and the Bengals.
I loved
And
Schuster.
they spanked our PPs that game after that had happened. You know, that's the kind of shit I'm talking about. Exactly. A head coach don't let that shit happen. If it does, then there's going to be consequences for it. You know.
I agree, but I tell you this: we've talked about AB before on the show, and
He wasn't the same after that hit by Burpee.
AB for 5 years or better.
Nobody can guard him.
For my money, not just from a fantasy football perspective, but you go from like 2010 through like 2015 or 2012 through like 2017, whatever it was. On my money, that was the best wideout in the league. Not just from a fantasy, nobody could. And he had and that's the thing. He acts like a complete idiot. But that guy has one of the highest football IQs that I have ever seen.
Yes.
And yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened there.
People dog Ben too, you know, about not having an IQ, football IQ. He most certainly does. And this is another thing. He even admitted on his podcast, his last couple seasons, the last season he was there under Canada, he was drawing plays up in the huddle in the grass.
In the grass?
Yes. Okay, so what's that tell you?
Well, I mean, that says everything right there.
I mean, if anything, maybe we should clear a house and maybe start with him as OC opportunity, you know? Or a head coach. I won't know about head coach. But that would be one way to keep this Steeler tradition installed. You know what I mean?
You look at a franchise. Go ahead.
He's still got this. You know, he's still the Steeler way. You know, and the Hines Ward. You know, he was. Them guys there are going to talk about it. Detroit Palomalu's.
This is a franchise that's only had 4 or 5 head coaches in its entire existence.
And they take a lot of pride in that, and rightfully so. But there's time when it's just time to move on. Things ain't going to get any better.
You know what? Now you got me thinking about something else, Hattie, old girl.
What's that?
Well, we looked at NBA, so let's look at NFL free agencies upcoming. Because I do not do, 5 years ago, I could tell you every upcoming free agent. Now, life happens, and I can't keep track with every fucking thing going on.
Right.
So let's go to, here we go, NFL.com. Who's the top 50 free agents of this class when we hit March time? Let's see what we got in here.
Well, I mean, do you start in free agency and build around that, or do you start with the draft?
I always so here's the thing. Indianapolis has always been if you've noticed, you go back, and like I said, Kurt knows I'm telling the truth. I remember Jeff George. I remember Michigan head coach Jim Harbaugh playing.
Oh, yeah.
Or John Harbaugh, excuse me, not Jim. Or no, yeah, Jim. Jim, yeah.
Jeff George had a fucking arm, dude. An arm on him, but he just...
I remember Harbaugh playing in 95. I remember Art Schlichter.
Yeah, Harbaugh was a hard nose. He was a good quarterback for many years.
You go back to the Peyton Manning area on up. Indianapolis has not been a team that has dabbled expensively in free agency.
No,
they've always got complementary pieces. That has been one of the most draft first teams that I've ever seen. To your answer, though, if you're going to make a splash and change the culture with your Steelers, I think you go in right away and maybe sign a couple agents. Let's look. Joey Bosa's brother, Nick Bosa, for the 49ers. He's still on a holdout.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not on a holdout now, but
you got him Watt on each end,
right?
On one end and the other.
T. Higgins is going to be, and oh god, would that not piss Cincy off?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think it's a position player issue. I think. Yeah, I don't. Well, I'm sorry, no disrespect to Kenny Pickett. I like Kenny Pickett. I was wanting to do good, but
I want to see who's available. Kirk Cousins is going to be a free agent. Calvin Ridley's a potential.
This is what I've heard. Some rumors that Deion Sanders' boy might be. They might be looking at him for the future.
God, I love Prime. Michael Pittman. Have you not
heard anything like that?
No, I haven't. But I love.
It's raw. It's a raw talent, but if you keep your head on straight, you never know.
I love Najee Harris. I'll freely admit that.
Yeah.
But Saquon Barkley is a potential free agent for the Giants.
He's getting old, though.
Jonathan Taylor for the Colts.
That was an option that I heard about. Pittsburgh might be going down, but I don't think it'll happen.
Ryan Tannehill. Yeah, you're like, whatever.
Yeah, maybe a backup.
Josh Jacobs for the Raiders. Odell Beckham.
We don't need a wide receiver position. We got Freiermuth, Deontay Johnson, and George Pickens. Excuse me. Maybe a slot receiver would be good.
Pickett to Pickens, man. What happened there? There was so much potential. Pickett to Pickens.
It did. Maybe they just didn't use the middle of the field. I don't know. I know Freiermuth's been hurt there most of the year, but the first game Matt Canada's gone, they freaking use the seams down the middle between the numbers, and Freiermuth has over 100 yards. And get this, dude, the first time we've been over 400 yards as an offense since 2020.
That's terrible.
That's stinking to join up. I mean, and what a waste of a defense. Our defense has been on the field for 4 years.
Yeah. You know what I was just thinking, by the way, that's terrible numbers.
That's terrible, yeah.
But one thing we did a lot of last year, either together or I did separate, we talked a lot of boxing and people got excited, and we have not said fuck all about boxing for all of 2023, and we're in December.
Yeah,
there's been some good fights, but nothing Tyson
versus Ali was a good episode, I thought.
Oh man, that was fun. That was fun. Check that out in the archives, everybody. Tyson versus Ali.
Yeah, we did a poll at work for that one.
We did a poll at work, and it was damn close.
That didn't sound right, did it?
Wait, actually, I want to do this because you made it sound really weird.
All right.
You know what?
What?
You're going to keep making comments like that, I'm going to start an OnlyFans. Listen to this. I put a new sound on because I was going to try to break that out when we talked about Ohtani, but I forgot. So it's just like dollar signs.
What's in fold, man?
But yeah, we took a poll. We did that back in the summer of 2021. That was one of our first 10 episodes.
Yeah.
And I put a lot of research into that. We already were researching every episode, but like I put a lot of research and opinions in that. I drug up every professional fight they ever had their entire career.
Did we ever put out a poll and see what kind of percentage? Did we do that on that? We should have maybe done that if we didn't.
I should have did that to see what the listeners thought I did. And we polled like, I mean, I asked some people on social media, I think all together, but nothing like for the show. But I think there was like 100 people polled, and it was like, I think it was like 52-48 or like 51-49 in Ali's favor. So it was it was closer than what we thought it was going to be.
Right.
I think. I don't remember.
Iron Mike. So
Iron Mike.
Is there any new news? Boxing news?
I mean, there's some fights that were rumored last year when I was real heavy into boxing. That's.
I'll be honest with you. It's when Howard Cosell quit doing boxing, it just fell out with me. I don't know. It seems like
Jake Paul's still doing his thing, and I hate him. And Logan Paul's wrestling.
I did watch him and Nate Diaz fight.
Right.
I was hoping Nate would split his head wide open.
Last year, boxing was different because we had what I was going around touting. We was covering a lot of boxing. We had 5 big fights of the year. And then as we got to August, some new fights got added. So we ended up with like a big 8, big 9 fights for 2022. I haven't paid a lot of attention in 2023, so I don't know how many big fights we actually had. However, something I've been keeping my eye on, and I know you're not going to know these guys' names, and that's fine, but there's 2 guys that could be looking to finalize a deal for an IBF lightweight title fight, and that would be Vasily Lomachenko, who's a bad motherfucker, and a guy named George Ferocious Kambosos. Now, for those listeners listening to the show, you know I talked a lot about George Kambosos because back in May or June, he lost his title fight to Devin Haney. Well, they signed a rematch, and they fought again in October or November of last year, and Haney got him twice. But now this could be an interesting fight. Well, the only thing that's making this hard to pinpoint is that Vasily Lomachenko is from the Ukraine. And ever since the Russia thing happened when I was still working with you, which would have been February or March 22, he's not really been in the picture. So this could be something to watch for those that's want to talk about. Lomachenko's like in his mid-30s. He's about my age or a couple years older, a couple years younger. But the dude's a fucking Olympic gold medalist, like fucking 3-time champ and all this shit. If I'm not mistaken, he's got a damn near perfect record, if not just a couple losses. Kambosos has only got 2 losses attached to his 23-fight record. He's 21-2. Those both went to Devin Haney. So that'd be something to watch. But there was people that got interested. We did boxing, which, as I've often said, boxing's kind of a dying sport. I shouldn't say that. It's perceived to be that way because Forrest Griffin, Stephan Bonnar, Ultimate Fighter, 2005, blew the fucking doors wide open for the UFC, and it's never been the same.
Right.
But if you're like me and Kurt, and I might be 36 years old, but I believe I'm an old soul, I get more excited about boxing than I do MMA.
Yeah, he's an old soul, folks. He knows Johnny Paycheck.
Oh God, Kurt, I got to tell you this. So I don't know how often you actually do listen to the radio. I don't know if you go walking through the plant during the day and maybe you hear my voice at like lunch or 8 o'clock in the morning or something. But every once in a while, I have to fill in as an on-air DJ. I'll do the morning shift, and then here lately, sometimes they have me doing Good Time Gold. What that is that's from 8 to 12 on Saturdays, and I'll fill in if the guy's out, and that's just Good Time Gold. That's the classics, and the rule of thumb is to stick with something 30 years. So that would be 1993, but I say fuck that. I don't ever go past like 83. So I go like 40 years and back further. So I'm playing shit from the 60s and the 70s and the 80s and the 50s.
Stuff,
that's the gold stuff, which for those of you that want to hear a true fun fact, and you might not, Kurt's mentioned it before, Kurt and I bonded over sports, but what we bonded over first was Kurt came up to me. I was helping him. And back then, when I first started, the first 2 months I was there before COVID fucked everything, volunteer overtime every Friday, 5 hours from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Yeah.
So Kurt and I would always volunteer to work, and my dad was a super suck, so my dad had to be there. So I would work there, and I stole somebody's Bluetooth speaker, and Kurt came over and he goes, "That's Johnny Horton." I said, "Yeah." He goes, "How do you know Johnny Horton?" I'm like, "Oh, puss." And then I started playing it out. And then he would like, well, who's this? Who's this? And he couldn't stump me. And he goes, boy, you're an old soul, aren't you? I said, I got my country education, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely an old soul.
Definitely an old soul. Well, Hattie, old girl, I can't believe people actually thought you were mad at me. They're like,
no.
Did you guys quit that? Did you piss him off? What happened? I said, he's just been busy. I said, there for a while I was texting Kurt, I will break the fourth wall, and he didn't text me back. I'm like, that's when I went to work to see Kurt on my lunch break. I took my lunch break on his lunch break because I thought, and Kurt's old. Kurt's 52. I mean, he farts dust. He literally farts dust. Yes. Kurt's not, and he'll freely admit he's got a new phone, and he's still not. He's like my dad. He's still a little iffy on those smartphones. I thought he accidentally blocked my number, which is something Kurt would totally do. So I was like, did you block my number? And he's like, no, man, I just been busy. He goes, I thought about texting you back. I'm like, you asshole.
Well, I mean, but it'd always be, it'd be too late or something, And
he's getting tired. The summer heat took a lot out of him. Now we're back to the wintertime where it's cold all the time, and Kurt keeps the temperature of his house about 37 degrees, which is generally why I don't.
You know what it's set on right now? You know what it's set on?
61.
That's a good guess. 63. Well, germs can't live in cold environments.
No, and I know this. I'm over at your house. Well, I haven't been lately, but I will be next weekend.
Yes.
I don't know if
it'll be chilly, so dress appropriately.
Yeah, always. Kurt's not a big New Year's Eve goer outer guy, so we might end up together on New Year's Eve.
You can't go out. You don't pay. I mean, let's just be honest with you. If you leave your home, you're in danger, it seems like, anymore, from the law.
That's right.
Dude, I'm serious. I've been fucking choking down these First Amendment audits on.
You've been watching those videos?
Oh, hardcore, dude. Name and badge number, motherfucker. You swore an oath to protect the Constitution. That and qualified immunity's got to go.
I got to watch. I mean, I know I'm using foul language on the podcast, but it's my show. I don't know how many people's going to check it out, but I got to kind of remember I'm part of the. Oh God. Well, you know what? We're just going to stay on here another few minutes. I got some more to tell you.
Piracy.
So I was told to kind of remember that I'm in the public eye now. I'm on TV and radio, and I'm in the public eye. So I kind of got to be a good boy.
The thin blue line don't need to exist, brother.
Well, I got to kind of speak nice about law enforcement because they give us reports, and I've not had no problems with them. We all know, well, some of you don't know because I never told the story, but we all know, Kurt, me and you, what happened in January last year, right after I got back from COVID.
You was a wanted fugitive, too.
I was a wanted fugitive, and what did we say? Here he comes. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss.
That's right.
So I was at the daddy-daughter dance. That was January 22. I was at the daddy-daughter dance in February of 2023, so earlier this month. So 13 months after this happened. And that officer walked up to me. He said, Mr. Atkins, he said, I just want to apologize. He said, I was just doing my job. I said, you didn't harass me. I said, why are you apologizing? Right. He goes, I know public perception is sometimes that we're bad guys. He said, if you felt offended in any, I said, I didn't feel offended. I said, you were just questioning me. I said, that was just kind of funny because that was clearly not me. I said, that was a fat Hispanic man. I said, I am a fat, pasty Snow White man. I said, that was swing and a miss. But, anyways, no.
That's nice of you to apologize, but okay, there might be one good one there, but how many bad ones do you think?
Probably 3 out of every 5.
And do you think that guy's going to do anything if he sees another officer doing something wrong?
Here's the thing. I've never really had problems with law enforcement. I've always been respectful. In my 20s, I was a mouthy, egotistical prick, and I probably should have got tickets and went to jail. But
they're taught to lie, brother, to get you.
If you abuse your power, if you abuse the badge, and when I say abuse, I mean you plant evidence on people or your dicks or you get rough with somebody.
And, they get incentives for that shit,
You shouldn't be having a badge if you're that way. But
now, I'm not saying we need to be lawless, but we need to overhaul.
That's the word. Overhaul the legal system. The policing system.
Let's get rid of, because, traffic laws it's policies. They're not really, you know what I mean? It's almost like road piracy. And once you get pulled over, it's like, holy shit, your Fourth Amendment's out the door.
I know a guy that used to say they only pull you over to look for a real reason.
Yes. Yes. And violate how many, and in the process violate how many rights? Your Fourth Amendment,
right.
To illegal search and seizures. Man, I've been choking it down on YouTube.
Look at you. Hey, I got something to tell you.
It's a big issue,
I want to change the mood. I want to make something lighter and funnier. So when I started at the radio station, I was told you're in TV and radio now.
Right.
Because Jasper does have a small-time TV station, but the TV signal expands out to about 10, 12 counties, so people can find it. Plus, it's always on YouTube. They upload content there. I just did TV news yesterday. I'm on there on YouTube. Anyways, I was told you're going to be in the public eye. You're going to be somewhat of a local celebrity. And I'm like rolling my eyes. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I have people coming up to me in public now that I don't know who they are. And they come up and they say things to me like, hey, you do a great job on radio and TV. Hey, man, it's good to finally meet you. Hey, man, what's going on? And now Kurt knows. And for those of you that don't personally know me, because we have listeners all over North America and across the globe, believe it or not, for a small time, hashtag tits, people, we get around. But people come up to me and I'm like, I don't know who this person is. And they're saying good things. And I'm not a very private person. Some things I am, but like my Facebook's open. I put shit on there all the time. I don't care who sees it. But I had one of the most random fucking encounters about a month ago, and I'm gonna tell you this and you're gonna be like, what? So I went to Walmart, and you know how much I hate Walmart. I hate people in general. I hate going out in public. Sorry, people, I don't really hate people, but I kind of do. I just hate going out in public around other people. It'd be fine if everybody be gone. It would just be me in the store. I'd be happy.
There's no such thing as courteous or cordial. Really.
No, not anymore.
Yes.
But
go on, yes.
I had a woman, she said, I work night shift. I said, oh, yeah?
I had a woman.
She said, I work night shift. She said, I want you to know, she goes, I lay in bed and fall asleep to you every morning. And then her face went red, and she's like, wait a minute. I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that. I work night shift. I have to have the radio to go to sleep. I didn't mean it like that. She just freaked, and I'm fucking so confused. I don't know whether to laugh or be like, okay, or what. But she's just like, I just meant I listen to you every morning on the radio when I fall asleep. Damn it, I didn't mean it like that. Dude, I'm like fucking, as soon as she walked away, I went inside, I lost it. Like I was fucking dead, man.
Was she easy on the eyes?
Oh, man, she was a looker. You know me, I got a thing for the cougars. Yeah. I got a thing for cougars.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, she wasn't bad.
Right. Well, maybe that was,
But yeah, that's the interesting thing. Well, here's what we're gonna do, Puss. We didn't even cover half of what we were going to tonight, but it's okay. I'm just happy there's content coming out. So
if we want to get some sensitive pussy, we need to go to radio. I'm sorry, folks.
Damn it! I'll find the right button eventually. Maybe that's why I'm single, because I can't find the right button there either.
Sorry, folks, I couldn't resist that one there.
Man, I can't believe people hung on for this show.
Well, I think it's been good content.
Right.
We ain't had to follow no script. We just kind of...
No, I just wing it. I know how to fill time because I'm in radio.
But what are you thinking about the Fab Five?
Let's do Fab Five. You want to?
Yes.
Well, let's do Fab Five, and we'll do it next weekend.
I'm going to start watching Fab Five here right shortly.
There should be a 30 for 30 on your ESPN app. If not, you can find it on YouTube. That ESPN did a 30 for 30 on the Fab Five about 6-7 years ago.
I think I could fill a lot of content just from memory, but I think I'm gonna watch some clips too.
Oh God, man, I'd love to do that. Juwan Howard, Jalen Rose, Chris Webber, Jimmy King, Ray Jackson.
Yes.
And who was coaching? Was it
Fisher?
Was it Beeline?
Fisher.
Are you sure?
No.
Was it Hang on.
I think it was.
Was it Beeline? Let's
Beeline came later.
Let's go.
Google.
Yeah, let's go to my little one calls it Goggle now. Let's go to the Goggle. Who was the Fab? Jesus Christ, the Fab Five coach. Come on, Goggle. What does the Goggle say? The Goggle says the Fab Five. Oh, God, this thing is forever low. Come on, bitches. The Fab Five, University of Michigan.
Were you thinking we would spit it out, but now?
It's just slow.
Oh.
Where's the coach?
Head coach.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Now, I know Fisher was 89, was coach. Ramil Robinson, Glenn Rice.
Right.
Loy Vaught, maybe.
Loy Vaught.
Yeah, he was a fucking beast inside. With a nice touch.
So it would have been Steve Fisher, Bill Frieder.
Okay, Bill Frieder was the one. Okay,
and then Steve Fisher would have took over. I don't know why I thought Beeline.
He come later.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He come later after.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if it was right after Fisher or not, but I forgot about Bill Frieder. Yeah.
Well, let's
do it.
Let's do it. We'll do it next weekend.
Yeah.
We'll do it next weekend. Let's see. Christmas Eve is Sunday the 24th. So we'll do it
around the 2nd or 3rd.
Well, no, let's do it next weekend. Let's do it Saturday the 30th or Sunday the 31st, New Year's Eve, either one.
Yeah, it works for me.
All right, brother. Well, hey, holy shit, we're back.
That's right.
We're back.
For me, man.
All right. Well, for Kurt Kelly, I'm Jared Atkins. This has been another episode of Steel Toes and Score. The first one in 5 months. We hope you're still with us. This was a blast, bro.
Yeah, good shit. Yeah.
All right, man. I'll see you next weekend.
All right, peace out.
All right,
bro.
peace. Well, that was fun, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. It just boiled down to I told Kurt Kelly, I said, we need content. I said, I'm still paying for my subscription that's hosting all of our stuff. I said, obviously, we have old listeners coming back or we have new people checking out content. I said, we got to give them something. I said, we've not had any content since July 4th or July 3rd, with the exception of maybe one or two Weeknight Chronicles I did by myself, or maybe it might have just been an episode where I just gave a brief synopsis of some things that were going on, why we were taking sabbaticals. But either way, there it is. And hopefully we get back on track and we have a good 2024. So, this was great. For Kurt Kelly, I'm Jared Atkins. I'm Jared Atkins reporting. Sorry. Stupid. So for Kurt Kelly, I'm Jared Atkins. This has been an episode of Steel Toes and Scoreboards. We thank you guys for your support. And we will see you next time when we talk about the Fab Five.